What can pull you from the edge, give you life and take your breath? What can make you leave and make you stay? What can make you lose your mind, drive across town in the middle of the night? What can make you strong and so afraid? Only love, love, only love, only love, only love, only love, only love. You and I, we've been through things, but you're still lying here with me. And there's just one reason I can think of why you deal with my crazy family, but I don't mind when you nag me, and why forever isn't long enough. Only love, love, only love, only love, only love, love, only love, only love. This ain't BS or exaggeration. I guess all I'm trying to say is, baby, you're my only love. Only love, love, only love.
All right. Good evening. Where are we at? Yes. Yeah. Sorry, I'm late. Had the same problem again, where I had a video codec error whenever I tried to launch Streamlabs, and I never know until I try and hit the go live button. So that's cool. Make sure chat's working. And get some code on the screen. Always a good start. And then get Chrome up. Nice. I think we're doing the login submission. Okay, so last week I made a decent effort actually. I made it through the first like 5 exercises. I think I got the basic exercise of this. Did I get the basic one? Exercise, we'll use the wait for the element to be removed. No, I didn't. I left myself a to-do for the setup server. So I know I've got to start here and set up this fake server. I managed to get this sort of stuff done. So I think the actual test is built. But what I'm missing is the post response. It's going to come from a server and validate my test. Just going to quickly check that it's working. Good times. All right, let's get started. Try and reacclimatize to where I was. All right. Oh man, it's warm in here. Good times. So let's reread the exercise because I'm probably going to have to start from scratch. Testing front-end code interacts with the back-end is important. Normally use end-to-end tests to test front and back-end code working together. For our integration and unit component tests, we're going to trade off some confidence for convenience. We'll make up for that with end-to-end tests. So for all of our JS tests, we'll start up a mock server to handle all of our fetch requests. Because window.fetch isn't supported in JS DOM, we have the wg-fetch module installed, which will polyfill fetch in our testing environment and allow MSW to handle those requests for us. I'm guessing MSW is the mock server. Yeah, there we go. Let's just get this up. To handle the fetch request, we're going to set up a server, which is not actually a server, but simply a request interceptor. This makes it really easy to get things set up. Sorry, give me 1 second. Just gonna. I'm back. All right, to handle the fetch request, we're going to set up a server, which is not actually a server. We use a tool called MSW. Here's an example of how we can use it for tests. So we import REST Setup server. And we're using testing library. Import fetch from fetch. Wonder what this does. So we set up the server. We're doing a GET request to /greeting. A request, response, and context. I think this is. See examples. REST API. We have a fetch. On submit, we're going to call handle form submit. Pretty straightforward so far. So how do we test this? Cool. So we've got mocks server. A source mocks. Let's take a look at the server. Set up server with handlers. So here we go. Set up the server. Just gonna listen. Let's just stick it up here. Wait. All right, how are the handlers looking? I've imported REST. I'm going to do a post request. Is here. Do a post request. And we're going to post to, well, let's just keep it as close to the example as possible. So we're going to go to this login URL and we're going to pass a callback. Yeah. And let's pass a callback function. It's going to take request, response, context. All I want to do here at the moment is see what I have available to me. So I've got request, response, CTX. Okay, no logs. There's some warnings though. Capture the request with a matching request handler. Okay. To the example. We're going to return a response object. Ah, these are for extensions. These aren't for what I'm doing. Capture the request with a matching request handler. Favicon and manifest. Yeah, I think we can clear that. Okay. Let's return response. We're gonna do ctx.json. Call that as an object. These one, these two, these three. Code is raw. Code is right. All I'm trying to do at the moment is get some sort of log. So let's submit something. Still nothing. See if there's anything in the network. So, okay, so we've got a network request here to this URL, and then we can see the payload here. Username A, password D. So, that means username, password should be available here, right? It should come in on the payload. Build custom login form is not a function. Okay. It is not, no. It should just be like that. So this is our factory, and then we're just passing in some overrides. So this should just return an object. Okay, so we're starting to get some logs now. That's good. Here's our request object. Body. Looking at that and then realize that's the terminal history. Here we are. Cool. So we've got the username and password here. So what is it we actually want to return? soon as the user hits submit, we render a spinner to the screen. That spinner has an ARIA label of loading for accessibility purposes. Wait for the loading spinner to be removed. Wait for this to be removed. Then once the login is successful, then the loading spinner disappears and we render the username. So we're just checking the username within the document. Failed. Unable to. Okay, so it failed because it couldn't find Chuck Norris. So let's try it. Ah, okay. That's why. Because nothing is being returned here. I was then looking at this form and wondering why my test wasn't working. We're grabbing login from here. So let's take a look at login. That's actually from login submission. Dispatching resolve with the response data. JSON.stringify the data. Just gonna return state. Just gonna use this reducer, set the status to resolved. Response data, what we pass through. And then it's going to put the response data's username in that strong tag. We obviously don't send the password back. So here, should just be able to retrieve the username from here. And then I think I can just return username here. I mean, I suppose you don't even need to retrieve it from here because it's in scope. Yeah. So we could probably just bump this here and remove that. Okay, maybe not there. Throw one up, and then let's do it one better. Let's just grab the username from here. Let's just deconstruct this. Password 2. Now hopefully this passes. Good times. Well, so is there anything I can tidy up here? Yeah, it looks all good. Oh, we can get rid of this now. Excuse me. So all we need this mock server for is to emulate the response object being returned. So it's going to intercept our fetch request, and then it's just going to send back whatever we want. And then it's just all we're testing is that this is going to be on this page whenever the status is resolved. Logging in displays the user's username. Cool. Alright. See what the first extra credit is. Good start. Reuse request handlers. Ah, nice. That's pretty much what this is doing. In my applications, I love having a mock server to use during development. It's often more reliable, works offline, doesn't require a lot of env setup. Already implemented this server handler for our app and test server handlers. What we got? Ah, nice. So it's making a post request to the same place. Got an async function. Should that be async? It's not on the example. Nice, cool. So it's basically a more robust version of my one-line callback. For this extra credit, import that array of server handlers and send it along into the setup server call. Alright, so import. Ooh, where did they live? So let's import our handlers. So the server handlers is the entire post. Yes, it's an array of this. We're going to need to spread that in. I think we can just remove this entire thing. Add an array. Spread it in. Ah, I know I can get rid of the entire thing because it's the rest of post. And I don't need an array here, I just want to spread the functions that are added to that. And I've got code cleanup. Nice. Alright, so we can get rid of this rest now. Still gonna need to set up the server. It's cool. times. That's the unhappy path. Add a test for what happens if the response is a failure. Server handlers already handle situations where it is not provided, so you can simply not fill one of those values, and then you'll want to make sure the error message is displayed. Cool. So let's go to login submission. Ah, nice. We've already got it here. So the error message is displayed here if something goes wrong. So let's just refresh this. Submit. Is our error message? Okay, so error message comes from use form submission. Where we provide an endpoint, providing whatever data we pass it here. It's going to dispatch, it's going to do the post. Mike's killing me. We want this. Dispatch type reject. Need to emulate a fail. Okay, so we want to render the login component. Okay, so this is the one that's going to work. So that's an empty string here for the username. And I'm just going to call this invalid username. Let's just pass them both, since we don't need to do separate tests just now. And it means I don't need to refactor the code. Let's just say invalid username here and invalid password. Here. This is going to be our invalid username. We're going to submit. We're going to wait for the loading spinner to disappear and expect. Oh, here. Div role alert. See what happens if I submit when they're both. Password required. get rid of this. It's going to be get by role. I'm going to look for an alert. Actually, you know what I'm going to use? Where's that testing playground? Can't really be bothered to put it all into here. I'm sure it's really helpful though. So you stick the code in here, and then it's going to tell me what I need. Okay, I'm just going to spend the time and do this. That's just lazy. Okay, so what are we going to return? We have a login submission. Let's grab our fragment. Then we don't need this to be too clever here. We just need this. So that won't be there. This will say this word is required. Status is resolved. Then show welcome. It's not resolved, so that won't be there either. And we shouldn't need the form either. So all we really need is this. Does it have prettier? No, sad. Dev role alert. Oop. So get by role alert. This is great already. You could still make the query a bit more specific by adding the name option. This would require to add some markup as your element isn't named properly. Well, let's go with this for now. Let's go back to our test. And then, yeah, so that's what we have. Get by role alert. What do we want here? To have text content? Password is required. No. Password required. Let's just ditch this because I have it. Oop. That is good times. Ah, nice. Case sensitive. Love it. So I'm actually gonna just remove this. And then I only need this and this. In fact, I don't even need to type anything. I just need to submit the form. So I don't need this at all. And then this is Oh, lowercase, which I'm guessing is why userx. I generally avoid this where possible because I've got no idea what I'm doing with it, but it's an example right here, so it's going to be hard to go wrong. All right. Hey, good times. The unhappy path is happy. Use inline snapshots for error messages. Copy and pasting output into your test assertion like the error message is no fun, especially if the error message was to change in the future. Instead, we can use a special assertion to take a snapshot of the error message, and Jess is going to update the code for us. Use to match inline snapshot rather than an explicit assertion on the error element. Let's take a look. I just read all that out. I didn't retain any of it. Copying and pasting output is no bueno, especially if that error message was to change in the future. Instead, we use a special assertion to take a snapshot of the error message and just will update the code for it. Okay. Snapshot testing with Jest. First time this is run, Jest creates a snapshot of the file. That's cool. The snapshot should be committed alongside code changes. This is where everyone just passes -u. Straightforward to spot when it fails. Stream saved, I think. Yeah. Expect it to match the snapshot. Alright, that's good to know. Ah, and it actually adds the snapshot. That's amazing. Wow, how the hell did it do that? It's amazing. Okay, so can we convert this one as well? Screen get by text username. Just do the same thing here. That's absolutely blowing my mind that it adds the snapshot inline. Yeah, that's so fucking sweet. Normally they're stored in like a snapshots file and no one ever checks them. They appear in the terminal and then people just hit -u. So that is amazing. Cool. 10-2. Good progress. Alright, one more. Use one-off server handlers. How would we test a situation where the server fails for some unknown reason? There are plenty of situations where we want to test what happens when the server misbehaves. We don't want to code those scenarios in our server for two reasons. It clutters the handlers. Feel this in my bones. The indirection makes tests harder to understand. Cool, okay. Nice. I've read that. Instead, we want one-off server handlers to be written directly in the test that needs it. Server.use APIs for. So, do I still have it open? Oh man, I have a real pet peeve when I'm just gonna make sure it doesn't have one before I mock it. Mock it. Terrible. I hate websites, like especially ones like this that have thorough documentation but no search bar. We just did the setup server. Like, how do I find the server.use? It's annoying. API. Setup server. Use. It allows you to add server handlers after the server has already started. And the reset handlers allows you to remove it between tests to preserve isolation, not prevent it, and restore the original handlers. See if you can add another test to check a situation for when the server does a 500. Nope. Alright, let's grab this. Do server.use. Alright, first thing. Let's just let's type it out. Try not to be too lazy. Test. Spaghettios. Cool. So we have our test here. And we're going to render the login component. So we're going to want the use. I imagine we need to define the use. Worker. Okay, so we're setting up the server here. Next. Worker.use. Testing it. Request. This will receive a permanent override. A one-time override. This looks like what we want. Alright, so worker lowercase. .use, and then we're going to add a one-off here. So I'm going to make rest. Suppose it can just be a GET request. We're only interested in the server response. So server, oopsie. Have request, response, context, callback function. Oh, I'm gonna need to import REST again. That was silly. And then turn response at once. $500 error. Turn an error message. Okay, is that gonna tell me where to import from? We have set up server from here. This is really bad, but I'm just gonna go. Where I get it from? Just from MSW. Okay, so REST comes from there. Sure, I think is server. It's a horrible, horrible way to do that. But I've not committed to anything, so I can't stash. Okay, so we have set up server here, and then we have import. Oh man, I'm tired. Rest. Not res. Rest. MSW. Now have that in scope, and then our worker, I think, is going to be server. So I mean, let's just wait for. So we have a username and password here, which is valid. Can I actually just grab this? I'm gonna render the login. Then we're gonna put a valid username and a valid password in, and then we're gonna hit the submit button. We're then gonna wait for the loading indicator to be removed. And we're going to expect the alert here because it's going to reject. Do we need to test it's a 500 or that it's errored? See if you can add another test to check a situation. Yeah, I mean, it's just going to do the same thing, right? It's going to give me a 500 back. So, oh, I did put it in the wrong test. No. Handles server error in the UI. We're going to need to make this function asynchronous so that we can await for this to be removed. Okay, where are we? We're going to put a username in, a password in, and we're going to hit submit. We're going to wait for this to be removed. I wonder where this should go. Is it going to matter? Wait for it to be removed, and then basically want this. Let's see how that goes. Okay. Failed. Submitted. Oh no. I've borked my previous test. Render the login, wait for the element. Oh, I didn't. I never submitted the button. Smooth. Second test passing first. Oh, handles the server error. Unable to find an accessible element with the role alert. There are no accessible. Okay, so it says welcome Chuck Norris, which means that this didn't work. Let's quickly check this here. So we are using server.use. We'll need to make it a post, so the post request fails. Let's just grab this. Thought the 500 would be enough, but I don't think it is. So. Welcome to the stream, Trezor. Thanks for tuning in. Just in time for me to take a break. Well, once I get this test passing. There are no accessible rules. It still says welcome Chuck Norris. What? So we want to submit valid credentials here because we want to test that the server is fucking up, not our application, not the UI. So we're using server.use, we're then doing a post request and returning res.once status of 500. Pardon me, and a message that says something went horribly wrong. Response, it will affect only the first matching request. Right. Actually, what happens if I just remove this async? Is it going to make any difference? Let's look at our handlers. Normally we make a post, send a status of 400. Oh no. Thought I had it. But where's the server? So we're setting up the server with our default handlers. So instead of defining it in here, oh no, do you want to define it for the actual test? Yeah. I'm just going to put it in here. But that's testing our actual handlers. And you would say not to do that. one-off server handlers to be written directly in the test. Cool. There's no point in resetting this because I can't get it to work. It would be silly to put that in there. I wonder if, after all, just reset the handlers, then close it. So it is actually resolving. Not really sure what to do because my code matches the documented example. Do I maybe need to add it before I click the submit button? That looks promising. Hey, good times, of course, because that's previously when that was up here, that was hitting and it was resolving. And then I was putting in a 500 request, so it had already resolved. Whereas now I add that to the handlers, and then when I click it, this is going to be a one-time thing. Cool. I think that is all the extra credits here. Nice. What did we learn? Mock servers. Setting up mock servers. Abstracting handlers. And what else did we do? We added one-off server handlers. What else did I miss? And inline snapshots. Ah, yeah. The best part. Replaced encoded text with inline snapshots. Adding one-off server handlers. Yeah, I love that. My only real comment was I found it hard to find the use example, but that's MSW and not the course. So I'll just admit. Nice. Alright, cool. What time is it? 7 minutes past. I'm gonna take a 5-6 minute break. I'm gonna go grab some water and stuff, and I'll be back for, I don't know, 1:15 at the latest. Back shortly. All right. Thanks for waiting. Oh, nice. Hey, man, people's usernames are so hard. Hey, Trezor, how you doing? Decalcas? I'm gonna go with Decalcas. Thank you for following, man. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so I think we actually just finished exercise 5 there, which is good shit. So I'm just going to cancel this, do a bit of cleanup. Let's have a pattern. Exercise 6. Start watching that. Let's get the markdown. And let's get the exercise too. Cool. So that's all set up and ready to go. That's now test. Passing. Cool. And the app's running. So there's a bunch of solutions here. How long are these? So I'll watch at 1.5 times speed, so it's not as long as it appears. It's like 4 minutes. 1 minute. 1 minute. 2. Nice. Okay, so like, what, 10-15 minutes? I'm gonna sit and watch these, but unfortunately, because you don't own the course material, I've been asked not to show it. So I'm going to sit and watch these solutions. Now's generally a good time if you have any questions or anything, because I'm going to be off mic for like 10-15 minutes. So if you have any questions, I'll answer them in the chat.
Came from Brazil. Ruby of the Sea is the best play ever. I once heard of a lady fair with blood scarlet skin and the moon in her hair. Should you want for her company, you'd empty your pockets to pay for her fee. Ruby of the sea, the ruby of the sea, to most men a legend that they'll never see. Ruby of the sea, the ruby of the sea, she's lovely and precious and never comes free. Ruby of the sea, the ruby of the sea, she's lovely and precious and never comes free.
All right, good times. Yeah, cool. There was a bunch of knowledge there. Most of it was correct. The only thing that I actually had incorrect. Let's go in here. This is incorrect because it would do all of the tests and then reset the handlers. Whereas I want to reset the handler after each test. And then just because it's probably better to have these in order, you can do that. Nice. I'm going to change this as well, just to be a little bit more explicit, and I'm going to say omitting the password displays the error. So I'm actually going to type the username and just not type the password. Nothing should change here. It's not even watching this anyway, but I'm going to go on the assumption that's correct, given that I've just watched the answers. All right, apparently this one's pretty tricky, so I doubt I'm going to finish this in the next 30 minutes, but I can make a start at least. Location, I think. Nice. Mocking HTTP requests is one thing, but sometimes you have entire browser APIs that you need to mock. Every time you create a fake version of what your code actually uses, you're poking a hole in reality, and you lose some confidence as a result. Remember, we're doing it and recognizing we're trading confidence for some practicality or convenience in the testing. Tests are running in a simulated browser. Excuse me. It does its best to simulate it, but there are some things it's not capable of simulating today. One example is window resize and media queries. In the advanced React hook workshops, I teach something using a custom used media hook and test it. I have to mock out the browser resize method with polyfill window match media. Here's how I go about that. Import the polyfill for each of the tests. Match media polyfill. Size 2. Match media polyfill. This allows me to continue to ingest while not actually running in a browser. So why do we go through all the trouble? Because the tools we currently have for testing are way faster when they run in Node. Okay. Mocking modules. Sometimes a module is doing something you don't want to actually do in tests. We actually just mock it. Alright, we've got a location component that will request the user's location and then display the latitude and longitude values on screen. And yeah, you've guessed it. This is not supported in JS DOM, so we need to mock it. We'll mock it out with a JS mock function so we can call mock implementation and mock what the function does for a particular test. Okay, we'll also bump into one of the few situations you'll need to use act. Ooh. Got a location component that will request the user's location and then display the latitude and longitude values on screen. This API is not supported by JS DOM, so that's what we need to mock. Okay, let's see what the exercise says. Set window.navigator.geolocation to an object that has a get current position mock function. So that is this. JS.mock can also be used to mock class constructors. Let's require action. Turns the actual module instead of the mock. So, actual. What do we want to mock here? Grabbing that from math. Media polyfill. So I don't think I need the match media polyfill. I'm just kind of copy pasting everything in here. I don't think I need this, and I don't think I need this. Set window.navigator So let's grab this. Function, object.assign, dispatch event. Okay, let's just try and actually type this out rather than trying to mutate something that's already there. Set it to an object that has get current position mock function. So get current position, and then that's going to be a mock function. Let's get rid of that for just now, and let's get rid of that. Okay. I'm going to give you this handy utility function. It allows you to create a promise that you can resolve reject on demand. Here's an example of how to use it. Stop then. Resolve it and await the promise. Okay. Makes sense. Create a fake position object that has an object called coords, latitude and longitude. Create a fake position object. So const fake position is an object. It's gonna have coords, latitude, longitude, and then we're going to create a deferred promise. So let's grab that little utility as a deferred promise. Now we need to mock the geolocation's get current position function to mock something. We'll stop. To mock something, you need to know its API and simulate that in your mock. Oh, well, actually, the first thing is let's look at this. So geolocation position dot coords as this as latitude and longitude. Turns a double. Is it? We good? Oh, I did not want to close that. Let's go back. Oh no, I did. We now need to mock the get current position function. To mock something, you need to know the API. Navigator.geolocation.get current position. Okay, so need a success callback, which is just going to be a function. Going to need an error callback. It's going to be the same. Help if I could spell. And we're going to need an options object. Cool. And then the idea is we're going to call navigator geolocation. Oh. Get current position. Right here. And then we're going to pass a success callback, an error callback, and some options. Call mock implementation on get current position. First argument of your mock should accept a callback. You'll call the callback when the deferred promise resolves. Promise.then. Call. So we created this deferred promise here. We create here, and then we're going to do promise.then. Callback. We're going to do stuff in here. Not sure what. So that's where we're going to do the setup. We're then going to render component. We're going to a location component. Verify the loading spinner is showing. Try running screen.debug to know what the DOM looks like at this point. Do I have screen? I do. It's exercise 5. Exercise 6, alright, so we have a body, a div with an ARIA label of loading. Okay, so we want to React testing library. Okay, so there were 2. Screen. Yeah, see, search bar just makes everything better. Okay, so we have screen. You get by attribute. Decision, normalization, get by text. Let's have a look. Screen dot get by How do I get by ARIA label? Label text. Placeholder text. Display value. Element by ID. Title by test ID. I'm gonna cheat because it's not in the docs. It's the final. It is get by label text. Associated with this will search for the label that matches the given text match and then find the label associated, the element associated with the label. Okay, screen get by label text and then loading. Okay, so let me just go back to 5 to remind myself of the API here. We're expecting match. Wait for the element to be removed. Expect here. We're expecting the screen get by label text loading, and I'm gonna put everything against an inline snapshot. Why are you freaking out? Because there should be a function. That should give me the loading spinner. Yeah, there we go. Okay, verify the loading spinner is showing up. Let's do our regex. Times. Resolve the deferred promise. I think we can just call resolve. To do in here to start here next week. We're going to resolve it. And we can do an async, so we can await the promise. Right around here, you'll probably notice you get an error. I love that. I am not getting an error. Got that. I'm just going to skip this. Take his word for it. Verify the loading spinner is no longer in the document. So. Just query by label text. Query by label. By label text finds by label or ARIA label text content. Expect. Screen. Query by label text to we have to be in the document. Expect screen query by label text loading. To not. React testing to not be in the document. No. That's cool because we would actually expect that to fail here because we haven't actually done anything here. So nothing will have changed on the actual component. If we do screen.debug, then we'll see that the loading is still there. Cool. So it's 10 o'clock, so it's normally when I wrap things up. This is in a reasonably good place, so I've started sort of setting up for this. So obviously like just an empty object here, and I know where I'm going to start from on Thursday. So I'm going to finish up tonight after finishing exercise 5 tonight and making a start on exercise 6, and then on Thursday I will continue with this, and then certainly make it onto the next extra credit, and then hopefully onto exercise 7. Yeah, cool. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you managed to learn something from it, and I will catch you all on Thursday.